Welcoming you back to crypto's juiciest news, baby dolls. We are looking at a Bitcoin price of around 95,000 American dollars. It was starting to take a bit of a tumble, but then it didn't, and it's just stalling around here. I wonder if we're going to get a bit of that skitsy skits action before it pops up and then it starts to do more skitsy skits, or if we're going to go back down like Ben Copen says. He's like, you're all going home. All of you, we're going to go home. So, once again, always 50-50, isn't it, friends? But I'm still optimistic for the future. Yeah, I've been optimistic for 4 years, and it's been pretty much garbage. Business ISM, yeah, the worst business cycle in literally 45 years, even though we got Donald Trump coming back in. Literally, Matrix dodged the bullet. Just Matrix dodged it, and we're still getting cucked. This is the Bitcoin price that we're looking at here, at 95,000 on the weekly. It's strong on the weekly, but yeah, as I've shown you yesterday as well, we're looking at a bit of that skitsy skits action going around. I guess the good news is that Bitcoin's monthly candle is green. This is lovely to see. Its structure did hold. Don't forget as well, friends, Uncle Bobby is still bearish. Okay, our favorite uncle, Uncle Bobby, is still bearish. I think he sold 1/3 of his Bitcoin, and he's still defensive on stocks. But it's interesting, friends, because we love Uncle Bobby. I just have deep respect for Uncle Bobby. You got to remember as well, he grew up in a different time. He grew up in a time where the news anchors, they had like they had waxed hair, and they're like, and now my doctor recommends you give 3 cigarettes to your newborn. You know, those types of days. Back in the days, friends, you know, so it was just a different time. That he's not used to like cracking on YouTube and they going, hey, you want to see a bull market? It's in me pants. They're just not used to that, friends. These people are just not used to anything like that. They think, oh, that's irresponsible, immature. They think that's, oh, you're Bart Simpson saying eat my shorts to Principal Skinner. No. We're not like that out here, right? But yeah, crypto have all the gains. So what now? We're growing at 100% per year. What are the boomer indexes growing at? If you're lucky, NASDAQ, it's only 16. That's the NASDAQ, by the way. And the boomers avoid the NASDAQ. Yeah, a lot of the boomers avoid it. They still stay on the stock market, the S&P 500, right? It's growing at 8% per year. Guess what? They're printing 8% per year. So, friends, like I said, we've grown up in a different time. They grew up in a time where the debt was really low. They only had 30% debt to GDP back in the 80s. They're about around then, 30%. Now it's 130%. Okay, it's literally 4 times. So the interest payment is just 4 times bigger. Pretty much what it means is, right, if interest rates are like 4% now, it's like they used to be 12%. Yeah, see, that's why, you know, an interest rate is literally around 5% because of major loser, always late Jerome Powell. When he had the interest rates at 5%, that is equivalent to 20% back in the 80s because the debt's 4 times bigger, right? That's a debt burden. So this, like I said, just different time. Now we know that the money printing for Ghazi, it's come basically to the end of its path. But for now, I don't think it's over. This is the S&P 500. It's nice, at least on the weekly. You know, we just check it on the daily. Uncle Bobby's still defensive because that's what the stock market does, right? It always, friends, S&P 500 is so efficient. It never just like comes down and just dies. It always has like these big bounce parts, and it's always on this part that's a critical moment, okay? It's kind of funny. If you actually draw a fib for it, it literally comes right to the 618. It's crazy, man. Fibs, they just go everywhere in life. So literally here we are. This is the schizo section, right? And now I'm going to go through some news here with you while I tweak my own nipples. We're going to go through Donald Trump and the tariffs. Oh, maybe it's a yes, maybe it's a no. See, it's always these skits. The skits part always comes around the fib, which is funny, right? Always around the fib. Here we are. Are we going to like basically break down negotiations and things go down? Or is it basically going to like fake out, which Numa always does, and then go, wait a minute, I like China. China, good. Okay. So you never know. It's always risk and reward. The thing is though, if you're buying on maximum uncertainty, you're getting the cheaper prices. Right now, there's like only half the uncertainty, right? So I guess that's the magic of everything out here. Russell 2000 is still very, very racist. Has no white Caucasian friends. Still down 20%. But we all know these friends. They all pretty much say the same thing. Unfortunately, OTHERS-btc is now doing its 6th red month in a row. My gosh, still down. That's because ETH-btc is down. Pretty. That's what the ultimate conclusion of that is. And everything's saying the same thing. Here is Bitcoin dominance still going up again, 65% up and up and up and up and up and up and up. Man, just check this out, friends. Like straight bang, 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 just straight. Look how many candles it's had green, friends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green candles in a row. Look what it did when I did 6 red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, it's never even had 6 red in a row. That's wild. It had 5 red in a row. And then that was the intergalactic bottom. Right, the only time it did 6 in a row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it was here. Then I had a huge bounce, and this was wave 2. This is Ethereum coming online, though. So, man, that's that's what some markets do. You're always going to get some sort of cuckery zone out here, but don't worry, friends. Everyone's trapped in this. I know everyone's trapped. They're not going to get out. They're so euphoric. I'm going to go through with you as well. Like, Michael Chad Saylor basically saying Bitcoin's going to $10 million. Friends, I have Bitcoin. I love Bitcoin. Friends, I literally have a buy Bitcoin sign in my avatar. My avatar is literally buy Bitcoin, okay? I'm just telling you now, the biggest mistake people make is that they underestimate competition, okay? I've taught you about this in train stocks in the 1870s, the railway mania, the Great Depression, the Roaring 20s. I literally went through everything, and I said, oh my gosh, all the journals say the same thing. They say, oh, these people, this is in hindsight, right? They always underestimated competition. They always underestimated it. They always thought whatever they had was the one Pokeball. Bro, there's a Pokemart. You can buy 99 other Pokeballs, dude. But, you know, the crowd, they have to go through their own euphoria type of waves that they have right now. I'm not saying I'm bearish on Bitcoin or anything. I'm just telling you, taking like a staunch long-term view like that, it's going to crank you. Now, overall, in the macro land, gold is still around 3,400. We think it's slowing down. It's done its 5th wave thing now. This is just all we need. It is slowing down, just hanging around here, golds. Yeah, we just needed to go sideways. But yeah, it moves very, very slow. Everything's pretty much set in stone now. You know, this reminds me, do you know in August of 2020, I remember gold started going up. Bitcoin was going up with it. I remember that. I got excited. No one else did. Because most people they just didn't even believe a bull market was coming. This is August 2020. You know, and then what was to come were great things. Maybe it's the same thing repeating again, so we'll see. Also, something very interesting. I have the PWBTC to PDI ratio. Notice how, friends, it really did hit this giant number, spike up almost 1.5 million to hit up here. This is the trading view area. I just come back down here, screwing around. I do think it's going to come back to its baseline eventually at some point. I don't know how, when, but to get here, PDI's got to be strong. So yeah, just want to show you these cool ratios that just hanging around out here. Checking out Pulse Chain PLS, still dog shit, still garbage. Eric Wall has now won his bet. It is down, bro. This is just wild, man. Yeah, that's, friends. Everyone, when people get things wrong, you don't get things like a little bit wrong. You are wrong by a factor of 10 to 30x in crypto. I'm not even joking. When people think something's going up higher, like for example, when Bitcoin was $60,000, we all think it was going to 150 or 180,000. We all thought it was going to 180,000. No, it went down to 18. We're off by a factor of 10. See? That's what happened in the bear market. I'm just showing you when people guess what's happening in the future. Wrong by a factor of 10. So that's what happens in these mania things. Now, let's crack on to the news. I mean, like, Ethereum fans has the overall message I could tell you is Ethereum, yeah, there's still a lot of soy latte. And this piece of shit is still on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's on a 6 red monthly candle in a row. Bro, can you just stop, you piece of garbage? Good news, though, that no one cares about. They have the pec muscles upgrade. The pec muscles upgrade is coming now or in the next 3 days, whatever. And what they're going to do is, friends, I'm going to give you a bit of an update. So it's going to be simplified. So there's going to be less approvals. It's faster. It's simplified a little bit. It's making it, the transactions are getting even cheaper. Things are getting a bit faster. Yeah, so you can do the swap and the approval in one transaction now. So it's one thing. So it's making things faster. Also, I think it's very, very obvious, friends, because if Ethereum, they're down 80. You know what? I'm not even going to tell you. I'm just going to show you, bro. Vitalik is down since June 2017. You're down 88% against Bitcoin. And you have a cheat code. So you should be outperforming, bro, because you can change the code, and we let you change the code every 6 months to upgrade the chain, to burn more stuff and make it faster and tinkier and supply the dynamics and make it like hectic. But you still messed it up. You know what I mean? Third cycle curse, right? But looking forward to the future, I think it's going to be good. Why? Well, things really cheap. We tried to call the bottom 15,000 times, but that's what happens, friends, in this game. But on top of that, the business cycle is hopefully going to at least turn around and stop scamming us for once. So once that starts to happen, we'll see a bid in Ethereum like we do now. Remember, friends, Ethereum's got all the stable coins. Roca Negra, they bought Bitcoin with a big private account in 2022 as they were flooding it. They're buying Ethereum right now. And they've already got the Ethereum spot ETF, so we'll see. So yeah, I know how, just overall psychology, how everyone's feeling. I don't even want to say everyone's ready to give up because we felt like that 3 years ago, man. It's beyond stupid now. I feel like now I want to inflict the pain I have inside. I want to inflict it on someone. But this is such a beautiful, nice, fluffy microphone. I'll never do that to you. I'll never do that to you. You know what I mean? So we have to find someone. You know, at school, friends, there's always that one kid everyone just puts shit on. We had George. And then I think in primary school we had Ferris. It'd be funny if they're watching these videos, by the way. Yeah, there's always a one token kid. Yeah, man, poor George, man. Friends, everyone used to throw mandarins at him. He's such a good boy as well, George. Actually, my friend. He's actually my friend. But he just copped it. He did. Oh, man. It's just, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's comical relief for the movie and the show, right? We need some comical relief in crypto where there's none. Who can we bash for fun? There's nothing. Oh, man. That's why it really is a game with yourself. You can't lash out. You can't do anything. Let's crack on with the news. Senator Roger Marshall introduces a bill to remove taxes on overtime. So if you're a young person, you know, if you're young, let's say you're like, let's say you're 9 years old. Okay. A lot of 9-year-olds watch my videos. So if you're 9 to 12 to 13, 14, 15, probably all of your friends, you really want the world to like hold hands and you believe in like, you know, urinary basic income where everyone gets handed out money and like, oh, the government's got a lot of money. You can do all this. Yeah, that's how everyone starts as like, yeah, freedom and liberty for everyone. Give everyone money. You start like that. Then you hit the real world and then you realize, oh, wait, it's not the government's money. That's your money, bro. It's actually your money and your taxes, right? So that's actually, you get older, people become usually more conservative. Now, usually when you see these things, they want to remove taxes on overtime. You might automatically go, whoa, you mean you want to pay people less? It's not that, okay? Usually what these things want to do is, the worker, you are nothing without the business, okay? You need the business owner to take on the risk. Yes? So you need a business owner to take on the risk and actually employ people, right? Otherwise, you don't have a job either. So usually these policies, smart ones, right? If I was a politician, the smart ones are designed to make it cheaper to hire and move workers. Cheaper. So it's not hard. So it's like, you know what? I need, there's going to be a few weekends. There's going to be busy here for the next 2 months. I'll just get someone, okay? Because it's cheap. But if you got to pay them like double time and a half, you're like, oh man, we'll find the workaround around it, right? So that's why it's important. Make it easier and cheaper for workers to be hired. And then, that's right, I don't have to wait like 15 hours for my little freaking stuffed zucchini for the entree. You've got to bring it out with the steak. Bro, I'm going to have two at the same time. Okay, I was hungry 30 minutes ago. I drank too much sparkling water. You see? So we're trying to fix society one policy at a time. Shout out to my butter chicken baby dolls in India. They say their trade talks with the US of A are going well. I think I have a picture with President Modi with Donald Trump out here. Here he is with the peace sign. And I really, it is honestly, if you're Indian and Paki, I've got Indian Paki fans. Just, it's funny how much of the world just sees you as the same and then how much you guys get cut at that. Man, my gosh. Like, you're always fans. Like, every Indian, like, if you ever had an Indian friend, I'll tell you, bro, don't ever joke that we're Pakistani. And then the other guys will say the same, same thing too. It's funny. It's funny because now you're trying to fight. You're bombing each other as we're trying to get the bull market started. It's going to be wild. Also funny with India, friends. India's going to be the cheap labor for China in like 30 years from now. Yeah, because Chinese middle class is going up. They're buying the luxury stuff. And it's what happens in every society. They're like, I don't want to work tables at a restaurant and get treated like shit. That's what happens. Every society goes up, and then you start having less kids, and then everyone just becomes Japan. Japan is literally just everybody in the future, where you just have so many dopamine hits. You have your luxury here. It's just, friends, remember that experiment that we went through, where that guy, I've got that famous experiment where he made this big rat city, and he had all these rats or mice, whatever, right? Aren't they the same thing? So all these mice cities, this kingdom of the mice. It was like a utopia thing, and he gave them a lot of food and stuff. And then they organized themselves into structures. It was literally just human society. And he said what happened was one of the mice, I thought they were called the beautiful ones. So they had a lot of food, and they looked after themselves, and they were clean in their like little dorms. So what the mice did, they stopped having sex with each other, and they just spent all day licking their own things and they're staying beauty and fluffy. That's literally just like Japan stuff. Just like you're so like, and then everybody out in the slums, they were having like eight to 10, kids. Everything's like scruffy. They're getting into massive fights. And as you progress society, and then you have like, you have a lot of money, you've got a lot of space. You don't have to live with everybody else. You're like distant. It's kind of funny, that big rat experiment. I think I actually have pictures of it right here. Here he is. Here is the rat experiment. He did this. There's different rat experiments. Oh, here we go. There you go. Just like humans. They feed them like sugar and stuff out here. Man, it's kind of funny just how it works. Are we all the same? That's wild, man. That's the future. Japan. Personally, I'm looking forward to wearing a diaper at that old age. Never have to go to the bathroom. Just literally, you're terminally online. You can playing your video games. You just never have to move. Right? You just change your diaper at the end of the day and you're cool. So I think they are ahead of everybody. Standard Chartered Bank predicts BNB will reach $2,700. So you're like, whoa, in the next 4 years, go CZ. And then you check it. You're like, wait a minute, bro. Wait a minute. $2,800. There's something quite peculiar about that number, because it's only about a 350% return. That's what happens, but it's because of the market cap, friends, and Binance Exchange going up. And also, speaking of, by the way, what a chart, man. Friends, this is what I was hoping Richard would do with Hex, but we just couldn't. This is just a god chart. Binance make a lot of money on fees. They have real economic activity. They actually have like a real utility coin. The problem, though, is they're not allowed to tell you that they buy the coin because it makes it international jurisdiction security, and they create expectations, and they don't want anything to do with any legal stuff. And by the way, they want the right to pull it. They're like, oh, if you believe, we do it. If you don't, whatever. Yeah, by the way, there were probably some insiders they know. They're like, oh yeah, do you know they keep a bid on stuff out here? And how you can see that, actually, you can watch my my CZ video. You should really watch it. Actually cool. So during the bear market, look what happened, right? Bitcoin bottomed here. Okay, so Bitcoin went down here. So actually what BNB were doing was every time that they made fees from all the volume, every week, every month, whatever, they weren't hitting market in BNB to buy it higher. They were just leaving a bid. They were leaving a bid. Look, and BNB BTC went up. So basically, it's like instead of like a $10 million wall, they had like a $50 million wall on the bid. Yeah? So everything was chewing through it, all the bots and stuff, but there's $50 million on the bid. You know what I mean? And then they'd keep making fees. Next month, they add another $50 million on the bid. You know what I mean? And no one can chew through that and sell through. So JEETs are selling on the ratio, but yeah, it's pretty much staying on the bid. And then Bitcoin's sinking. You know? What are you thinking about, Habibi Albi? I think it's a perfect time now to move into... This is exactly what I'm talking about. So yeah, Shans, that CZ video as well. And yes, I know what the people want. I know what the people want. You want to hear him talk about jail. There's literally 6 minutes of him talking about jail in there. Yeah, they did get him to spread his butt cheeks. They're like, rah! What's in here? There's another ledger in here. That's probably Binance's cold wallet that's gone missing. So he speaks about, all the tough guys in jail and everything out here. So yeah, it's kind of telling. And also, quick summary as well. Why I'm talking to you about it is Maria, friends from Atropa Dev. All right, he actually put my video on his secret playlist to try send a message. You see this video here, which I might have to make a video on it later. But this is just it made me look at his playlist. So specifically, I'll cover it more later, but specifically in that video, I don't know what section he wants us to pay attention to, because he just gets a puzzle, bro. It's just everyone's over it. But CZ says DEXs are the future. That's one thing in there. DEXs are the future. And remember, in like Pulse and stuff, we are the Oracle. We don't need a centralized exchange. We are the Oracle. Yeah. That relates to PDI and just everything out here, right? We are the Oracle and everything else on the chain. He also says like real world assets are the future as well, which pretty much means like we're going to get the short and the long end of stuff coming in here, which includes stable coins, more stable coins. You see it's more referencing stable coins. He also talks about jail, right? So that's why maybe Maria, he puts that in because he's like, oh yeah, that's maybe relevant part of the schizo because, you know, CZ goes to jail. And I'll explain why, friends. The real reason. So CZ can't say this, but the real reason why he goes to jail is the US government doing illegal competition, oligopoly stuff. Okay, illegal according to own rules. They want him to, they took him down because he's the Chinese dude. They make Binance's volume go low. They funneled all the volume to Coinbase because they want that to be the conduit main road for the Bitcoin spot ETF. Why? So the government now controls Bitcoin and it also controls the stablecoin route. So it has the highest volume pair. So they can control the issuing of USDC and USDT and it's all gone through Coinbase. Okay, so now they have big bulk of the volume. They've started the trend there. Everybody goes to Coinbase. They have all the custody. You see what I mean? So that's the real reason why. And also he goes to jail because he's public. Okay, so that might be also relevant to Maria saying, you know, if you're going after an endogenous stablecoin thing in crypto, they are probably going to make it illegal in the future. You know, I made for you some juicy breaking news. Thank you to Mr. Dirtburglar for it as well. So friends, the official, the Treasury Committee Advisory for America, US government, they literally predict, they go, we forecast stable coins to go to $2 trillion by 2028. Right now, they're in 230 billion. So that's 10x in stable coins. So remember, I keep telling you it's a stablecoin SuperCycle. And I've been cranking it here for you every day. Stablecoin SuperCycle. And that's really the future, where it's all going. Cracking on with some other news as well, friends. We have Solana Strategies buys $20 million worth of soy. So what's actually happening is that's a MicroStrategy playbook where, oh man, this is going to end so bad. I hope it just push everything up first and then we're going to end so bad. So that's all they do. They find investors in the world. They're like, hey, we'll give you a deal on our stock. Okay, do you want exposure to crypto? Okay, cool. Well, you know, here's our stock. It's worth $10. We'll let you, like, you know, own the stock at a minimum 8. So you have protected downside, right? And so they're like, okay, cool. And then so they give them the money and then they go use all that money to go buy Sol. And obviously that's going to work forever until it doesn't work because crypto's in a bear market and actually going down. So it's really cool actually to see them. Remember, we don't have anybody doing this for Ethereum. And that's kind of funny. Just it's cute to hear Ivan and everyone else saying, oh, it's because Ethereum's trash and the tech is slow. There's that Joe dude who goes on Crypto Banter's show. He's like, Ethereum is like the BlackBerry. Ethereum is going away. The Pentium 2. Ethereum is never going anywhere compared to Solana. That's exactly how it talks. Oh, bro, just... Aren't you using markets, bro? Are you not in markets? You know they're all retarded. Dio. You know they are. They being the masses of people. They chase momentum. Nobody buys low. No one. No one. They chase momentum. Of course they're going to be shorting ETH down here. Those CME institutions, the cucks, they're record short Ethereum. They all get blown out at $3,000, by the way. That's the average, that's the highest volume around the area. So, like, you know that. So, how could you make this statement? Ethereum is BlackBerry. By the way, like, it's funny. These people, they'll drive with the blinders on. They're not giving any positive coverage to Ethereum's Pec Muscles upgrade. Friends, literally Vitalik. This is how much disbelief everyone is. Lord Vitalik, Vitamin, he literally said, yeah, we want to put the gas limit up by 10x in the next 2 years. Literally 10x it. Right? So like, okay, Ethereum's kind of slow, bro. I'm excited about like a 10x faster and improvement speed stuff out here. So I know it won't be one for one, but it's a step in the right direction, right? So this is what happens. What, like, I'm not surprised. That's why I don't get angry at these. Like, of course, dude, like any positive news, you give it literally 0 weight because you have a floppy willy, right? That's why. And then anything that happens, if this chart happens, any bad news, you'll like disregard it. It's how markets work. You've seen that. Cracking on with some more news as well, friends. Treasury Secretary Bessent says the US has not engaged in any trade negotiations with China. So maybe that's like a bit of the wet dream thing leading on to kind of like accelerate the bull market during summer or something. Michael Chad Saylor says AI will buy Bitcoin. And I've written here, this is a great future narrative bull trap at the top. And I like it. So I'll just show you now Michael Chad Saylor's comments.
What you're going to see is companies are going to create extraordinary products, extraordinary services. There's going to be 100x increase in productivity. There's going to be 100x increase in everything. We're going to produce more of everything in every way that everybody can imagine. And if you're a corporation, if you're a private actor, if you're a capitalist, what are you going to do with that capital? You're going to roll it into Bitcoin. The AIs are going to want to buy the Bitcoin. The companies are going to buy the Bitcoin. The demand is going to be for the most scarce, desirable, liquid, fungible capital asset. And so the explosion of productivity with digital property and digital intelligence and digital labor will create an explosion in demand for digital capital. And I think all of those are just mutually beneficial trends. And if you're a company, you just want to figure out how your shareholders benefit, how your customers benefit, how your employees benefit.
Now, I'm going to tell you something of what I really think. I think he's half right and half wrong. Okay, now, my opinion means nothing. He's the billionaire, not me. I think he's wrong. I think he's basically just saying you're all going to buy Bitcoin because I'm long Bitcoin. Which is fair enough. Everyone says that. However, I think the incentives do not align for that. I think in a world of AI, faster liquidity swapping, faster layer 1 chains, more accessibility wallets, privacy solutions, more meme cult religion stuff, I think if you keep rolling that forward, you don't get a world where all these AI things buy Bitcoin. I think you get a world where those AI things buy their own token. That's what I think happens. I think they release their own token, people participate, and then they use the capital made from that to maybe operate, and then there's like a certain buy and burn of everything, just like what PulseX is, like an AI. I think that's the future because that's the incentives, right? They're like, hey, instead of me going and buy Bitcoin, you give me money, right? You give me money, and then I've had something built, and then I'll use the profits here, and it buys a token. That's how you roll it. We're just incentivized to make all these. Now, of course, what they'll say is they go, oh yeah, there's 20 million tokens right now, but Bitcoin's still around. Give it some time. Give this Bitcoin dominance some time to play that out. That's why I'll just show you now, friends. Friends, be careful of anybody who is literally bullish on anything in crypto after 4 green years in a row, bro. And I don't be careful. I mean, run for the hills. And I don't talk like that, do I? I never say run. Just really, 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 really be careful, bro. Really, really, really. I can't say really enough, bro. You've had 4 years to trap them. Oh my God. And by the way, when this thing starts getting unwound, you don't buy fair value, bro. They're still trapped because there's going to be the dead count. And then over time, okay? But also, fair point. You might say, okay, my friend Sommi, but which tokens do we buy? Okay, that's why it's tough. Because it's like, oh, which ones do we buy? Like, oh, my tokens. My tokens are the best. All those other ones are scams. So it's a tough game. Also, friends, United States and Saudi Arabia have prepared to finalize new mining and mineral deals. So it's kind of funny, just showing you more trade agreements and stuff coming out here. Treasury Secretary Bessent said a central bank digital currency is a sign of weakness and he would not support the Fed issuing one. I love you, bro. I don't believe you. And I'm not going to say sorry. I don't believe politicians. Hey, we have the chance. Oh my gosh, Twitter's doing that play thing again. They're like, productivity. They're like saying, hey, we have a chance now to get ultimate power, but we're not going to take it. They'll find the way to take it. Another way. Someone will find the way. They'll change the word. They'll change the routing. They'll find the way. By the way, USDC and USDT and USDS, they are already central bank digital currency. They already have a blacklist function. It's just that the central bank, they don't control it within their office directly. They have to make a phone call to then ban someone. There you go. Right? So it's like the prototype's already done. It's already here. Okay. Canadian Prime Minister Kearney arrives at the White House for trade negotiations with Trump. Friends, I've seen him on the TV. He was like saying, President Trump, you're not going to tell us what to do. And then he literally comes in here, friends, like, which is literally on his knees out here to President Trump out here. So, I don't know why you take this politician job. It's like these people get high off just seeing people cheer. But you're like soulless, man. Like, what are they cheering for? Like, look at the weirdos that are cheering for you. You know what I mean? It's like just, you know that, friends. You know those people. You know those people. They're like, far out. Like, you're really into your politics, man. Like, you're really, really, really into your politics. Like, you still haven't got the message that, like, your opinion literally means absolutely zero. Like, bro. Oh, God bless you. You know what I mean? You know, and they're looking at the guy with the panda hat who tweaks his own nipples on the internet, having some fun at them. But yeah, but here's the thing, bro. Look at your risk reward. Your reward is one person who you may like might care about your opinion. All right, look what our reward is. 20 times your net worth. You never have to work again. You see? So we're taking the better bet. New Hampshire governor signs law allowing the state to invest in Bitcoin and crypto. Very good, sir. Very good. We want to see more of these. President Trump says India agrees to eliminate all tariffs on US goods. Very good as well. More of these trade walk back. See how friends, everyone's just like, it's wanker guru, bro. Trade, tariffs. Like, we're getting like that fatigue already. Roca Negra CEO Larry Fink, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg to attend investor conference in Saudi Arabia to boost investments. So Habibi Albi come to Saudi Arabia. Boost investments. It's pretty much dump oil, get the US treasuries, then go buy Bitcoin, keep it on Coinbase for our custody. So it's within the same ecosystem, and then we'll do the turbo loop in the next cycle. US and UK have expected to sign a new trade agreement this week. Hopefully, some crumpets can go down to a more respectable price. I was looking at them, had a bit of a sticker shock the other day. Crumpets, bro! There's only 5 in them. And by the time you open it, you got to eat them all within 3 days. Okay? So I really got to manage my calorie surplus. Friends, do they have crumpets that last longer? Because, man, 3-4 days is not enough, man. It's not enough. Like, I don't want to have it every single day, man. You literally just pack it on keys, friends. You can't. You got to manage. And, yeah, the only answer is preservatives, and we don't want those pesky preservatives, do we? Michael Chad Saylor says Bitcoin's market cap will reach a conservative 200 mid-trillion. That's $10 million per Bitcoin. Yeah, bro. I hope so. India started launching a missile attack on Pakistan. Friends, I've also got this picture. I got it from some dude out here on Twitteroonies. So shout out to you if you're seeing it. Hope you're not complaining. I tried to tag you. I've lost your username. Thank you, sir. Bitcoin dominance, right? It's in this triangle wedge. So this is what I think is actually going to happen. I know, like, we have an extended cycle. Bitcoin dominance goes down, right? And then maybe the bear market ain't as, like, vicious, maybe, and just comes back up, right? Boop. And then we come back down. It's all about. This would be ETH-btc making its lower bottom. And then we break down like that. That might be it over time. But don't worry about that bigger stuff out here. So, friends, the best part, look, all you need to understand about the Bitcoin dominance is that it's got Bitcoin in it. All right? We don't track dominances of anything else. So it's kind of tell you about the mind share of Bitcoin. So even if Bitcoin isn't the highest performing coin in a bear market or anything out here, which you never get, right? but at least it's going to destroy 99% of other things. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, okay, there's literally 50,000 people running a race, but I told you, okay, you're going to pick a coin. You're not guaranteed to win the race. You're not going to win, but you're guaranteed to come rank 20. It's a pretty good deal, isn't it? You're like, wait a minute. You're telling me I'm guaranteed to come top 20 out of 50,000 no matter what? Go, yes, but you just can't win. Because there's always going to be one cherry-picked altcoin that wins, but it's a new guy every time. It's a new runner every time. So you would think this person's like a really, really good, consistent runner if they were running a marathon, wouldn't you? This is President Pump out here.
India, as an example, has one of the highest tariffs in the world. We're not going to put up with that. And they've agreed already to drop it. They'll drop it to nothing. They've already agreed. They would have never done that for anybody else but me. So
there you go. Thank you to India with the lovely butter chicken out here. Also, friends, so from UFO stuff, UFO whistleblower, this guy, friends, so this dude, he worked at the Pentagon for 5 years, and he saw one leaked UFO data point. So pretty much, there's a Pentagon database, and they check all the files, right? I forgot what he was actually doing, and I think he checks stuff. He's a Pentagon guy, right? So he was in there after 5-6 years. There's this database, files go in there, they're only there for about a month, and they go away. And there's all these different things that's going on. He goes, but once he saw this file, and it was like, it's one of the boring name stuff. It's called something like, Mag 5. And he's like, oh, that's a magazine article 5 that like, they're like super, super boring. No one ever opens them. Yeah. And so he clicked on it, and then he saw it was UFO stuff. It was on the wrong database. Yeah. So he read it. He checked it out. And that was in his part 1. I haven't watched his part 2. That's why I'm making here juicy news here for you. And of course, tweaking my nipples every single day to pump us. But yeah. And he said in the file, this was interesting. So the file was, it was a picture of a UFO up close, a ship up close. But he says he can't tell you where the camera was because it will reveal that the Pentagon has like high definition powered cameras somewhere out here. I don't know if you guys know, friends, in America, all over your desert, there's like Pentagon and like Coconut Intelligence Agency, just cameras hidden in bushes and just taking pictures of stuff. Yeah. It's in many, just random deserts, random places. They got literally the whole continent's covered. Like they're literally, friends, I'm not exaggerating. Like because they have so much power, they really now have a sexual fetish for just peeping inside your butthole in the bathroom. Okay, that close. Not even like, hey, just wait at the door. It's kind of smelling in here. No, they want to put their head straight in the toilet bowl. That's literally what the Coconut Intelligence Agency, they're like, no, we want to check everybody what they're doing. And then I'm sure you guys saw the all the leaked messages that people got angry within the Coconut Intelligence Agency because their ex-wives and their girlfriends were being spied on by people within the intelligence agency. They were spying on everyone. They're like, oh yeah, let's go check what that person's conversations are doing. So it is what it is. Now, what he saw, friends, this is interesting. He saw one PowerPoint. It was just one picture. And the other thing was this little PowerPoint presentation slide. It was a zoom up of, funny, it was a Russian submarine, I think, in the water. And on top was the big black triangle UFO. So, black triangle UFO lights. I think we've seen them around. Now, a lot of people believe these are the man-made ones. Okay, they kind of look like that. These triangle ones. Yeah. This is actually one. I think this is a real one. Wow, this is a new one. Oh, wow. This is in, oh crap, this is in like Australia. Wow. So this is what it looked like. Look at this triangle UFO, right? Some of them are drones and like the Coconut Intelligence Agency, just to let you guys know, because average drone is powerful now, they'll do fake ones in the sky to make everyone think, oh, it's just another drone thing, right? So they're masters of this psyops. It's genius, actually. So yeah, he saw in this photo, America was watching Russia, who were watching the UFO, and they were studying the UFO. So they got received intel. Russians knew that the UFO was somewhere, and they went up to it to go closer. We don't know what happened after that. But that was in part 1. I haven't watched part 2 yet. So interesting. He's from the Pentagon. He's doing a big whistle leak blowing as well. Now, kind of funny as well, friends. President Trump says in this interview, he goes, we're going to have a very, very big announcement to make. like as big as it gets. I won't tell you on what, but it's very positive. It will be one of the most important announcements that have been made in many years about a certain subject. A lot of people are like, whoa, is he going to disclose UFOs? Maybe.
We'll have maybe before we're going to, as you know, the Middle East, Saudi Arabia. We're going to UAE and Qatar. And that'll be, I guess, Monday night. Some of you are coming with us. I think before then we're going to have a very, very big announcement to make. Like, as big as it gets.
I don't think it'll be UFO, but it'd probably be like some sort of like America, Arabia, oil friendship deal or something out here. Yeah, I have some crack of UFO videos. They have, every president, pretty much, not every, a couple of them, the presidents know. They know. And so they get like the experts and they're like, okay, do a scale 1 to 10. If we tell everybody UFOs, what's the impact going to be? And like, it's always bad. It's always bad. There's no way out because too many people have been killed. Too many companies have been given the tech and other companies went bankrupt. So I guess we're going to see how it all plans out. But for the rest of us, we are hoping and coping for the bull market to please start. Like, subscribe, really better, and I'll catch you soon.